What's going on, you guys? My name is Russell, and you're watching The Bible Man. If you're new to this channel and like the content I make here, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and turn on all notifications for any future updates here on my channel. And if you feel like supporting me in any way, shape, or form, you're welcome to go ahead and do so. Links are in the description box below, and there you can support me on Patreon. So, the title of today's video, The Mirror of Deception, Prophecy, Perspective, and End Times. We are living in an era where the lines between history, theology, and current events are blurring. For the last 2,000 years, Christians have looked to the book of Revelation, warning of a figure who would rise to global power. The Antichrist. He is a man of peace, a man of intellect, and a man who will eventually demand the entire world and all its people to bend down and worship him. But there is a growing conversation right now based off of current events, what's happening to England, Britain, Canada, United States, London, Paris, where these Islamic monsters, these Islamic pedophiles, these Islamic terrorists are coming in and taking over pretty much everywhere, and they're being supported surprisingly by white liberals. And the conversation has some legitimate arguments to it. But there's a growing conversation, and it's chilling. It's very chilling among scholars and scholars of biblical prophecy, that what if the figure that many people are waiting for in Islam eschatology, the Mahdi, bears uncanny resemblance to the biblical Antichrist. This isn't just about culture differences. It's not about a total fundamental clash of worldviews. When we compare the Quran and the Hadith to the Bible, we aren't just looking at two different religions. We are looking at the two entirely different versions of history, two different versions of Jesus, and two entirely opposite versions of the future. Understanding this is essential, not for the sake of arguing, but for the sake of discernment. Part 1. Let's look at the facts. In Islam eschatology, the Mahdi, the guided one is the Messiah, expected to emerge during a time of global chaos. He is a descendant of Muhammad and descends to establish a global empire where the entire world bends to the knee of Islam. Now consider this. Now, the biblical Antichrist, the rise to power for both figures are rise out of a world collapse. The peace treaty. The Bible speaks of the Antichrist in Daniel chapter 9 verse 27, which says, He will confirm a covenant with many nations for 7 years. And in 3.5 years, or in some versions of the Bible, in the middle of the 7 years, he will put it in to the sacrifice. That's what happens when you talk too much. To the sacrifice and offering. And at the temple, he will set up an abomination and cause desolation until the end it is poured out of him. Islam traditions regarding the Mahdi similarly describes him as a leader who brings a period of unparalleled wealth, peace, and prosperity, and starting with a treaty. But then 3.5 years later, all shit breaks loose and their true colors show. I'm not surprised. There's going to be a lot of dumb people who fall for it. Personally, alright, I'm going to take a pause real quick. So, 80% of the world fell for it. 80% of the world took the vaccine, took the COVID vaccine. That means 80% of the world will be stupid enough. Yes, I mean even Christians, to take the mark of the beast. If you were brain dead enough to take the vaccine, then you're brain dead enough to take the mark of the beast and damn yourself to hell. Just saying. It's harsh, but it's true. I didn't take the vaccine. I called it out when it came out. Call me what you want, but we were right. We warned you. We warned you for years. Y'all didn't listen. Huh. The religious goal, the Medivh's mission, is simple. Convert every single person. Wait, I'm back up. I'm going to tell you what their goal is. That goal is pretty simple. Invade, become the majority, conquer, convert. If they refuse to convert, kill, rape, pillage, destroy, conquer, and become the majority and the leaders of the land until all nations in all states in all areas of the world look like the Middle East. These people are filthy. These people are disgusting. These people worship a pedophile. I don't need to have debates with a Muslim. I just need to look at countries like Iran, Afghanistan, London, Paris. What happened in Spain when the Moroccans came through? I'm not having a debate. You guys are showing us what you're like. Over and over and over again. Your religion is a religion of pure evil and chaos. Debauchery and sexual perversion. Their own prophet married a 6-year-old. Let that sink in. And I really do believe there's going to be some dumb white women who identify as liberal with probably blue, green, purple, pink, red, or rainbow, who's going to be defending these monsters. I'm sorry, but call me an Islamic phobic, because it's not an irrational fear. To have a phobia for something, it has to be something that's irrational, or a fear of something that's irrational. There's nothing irrational about having a phobia towards Islamic people. They're the number one group in America let me correct myself. They're the number one group in the world that commits the most terrorist attacks, bombing, shooting, killing, raping, pillaging. More than black people, more than white people, more than Asian people, more than Mexicans, more than MS-13s, more than gang members. They're the most evil, vile, disgusting people on the planet. And people still follow them. People still worship them. People still let them into their country. They're not even human. I don't see people who read the Quran as human. I see them as lower than animals. A rat in a sewer. No, that's an insult to the rat. A cockroach in a sewer has more value than somebody who believes in the Quran. You're lower than a cockroach. You're lower than a mosquito. You're lower than horse's shit. And if you've seen the stuff I seen, pregnant 6-year-olds, 4-year-olds sold to 60-year-old men for marriage, you'll be saying the exact same thing. I'm sorry. It's the most vile religion on the planet, and somehow people all across the world will get on their knees and worship them. And I believe it too, because 80% of Americans were dumb enough to take the COVID vaccine. That's how dumb people are. The goal, the end goal of Islam is to evade, become the majority, conquer, convert. Refusal of conversion equals death, rape, or beheaded. After everyone has converted, all the women will be wearing burqas. They won't be able to do what I'm doing right now with social media. All their social media platforms will be monitored by their husband. They won't be able to leave their house without their husband. They won't be allowed to work or go to school or go have a car or drive. None of that. All those rights go away. They won't be able to take the man to court because a woman's testimony is less of that of 3 men. I can keep going. And the funniest part is, feminism is protecting the very thing that's against feminism. What a bunch of morons. I want women's rights. But let's protect Islam, which is known for suppressing women. You know why they do it, right? Because women don't think with logic. Women think with emotion. They don't have common sense like men, like we do. Men, we don't think with emotion. We think with logic. Logically, if you import all these people into our country is going to turn to a shit show. But since all the women are making decisions nowadays, they come from poor countries. Look how bad their country. Let them into our country. We have everything, and then 10 years down the road, we look like their country. And then all our resources are gone and you're out of office. The very power you had to bring them in is the very power they're using now to keep you at home and strip you from that position. Feminism. That's feminism in a nutshell. That and hating men. Or bashing men. Or saying all men are evil. All men are the same. All men are useless. Again, women make no sense. You can't make women happy. They put nails on their nails. Lashes on their lashes. If their tits are too small, they want it big. They want to enlarge it. If their tits are too large, they want to decrease it. If they're too fat, they want to become skinny. If they're too skinny, they want to become fat. If their feet are too small, they want it to be bigger. If their feet are too big, they want to make it smaller. If they put hair coloring in their hair, on their all natural beautiful hair, they put makeup on their face, on their natural beauty. Like, you can't make somebody like this happy. You can't. The Bible defines the Antichrist by his denial of Jesus being the Christ. In 1 John chapter 2 verse 22 says, He who denies Jesus is the Christ, he is a liar. And whoever denies that Jesus is the Son of it is the Christ, such a person is an Antichrist, denying the Father and the Son. In Islam end times narratives, the Jesus who returns comes back. In the Islam end time narrative, the Jesus who returns comes back specifically to clarify that he was never God, to destroy all symbols of Christianity, and to serve as a debut to the Medivh. This is the exact mirror image of the Christian hope. the second coming of the true Jesus, who is King of kings and Lords of lords. Page 3. Symbols carry power. In Revelation chapter 6, we see the four horsemen of the apocalypse. The white horse of conquest, war, conquest. Basically, once they become the majority, they take over. And then stage 2, the red horse, war and blood. Once they become the majority, first they invade, which is the conquest. Part 2, the red horse, they conquer through war and bloodshed. Then stage 3, the black horse, famine and economic control. And in part 4, the pale horse, death, to anyone who refuses to convert or bow the knee to the Medivh. Now I want you to step back a second and really think about the color of the four horsemen and how much they resemble Islam. It's eerie how much the four horsemen represent Islam. White, red, black, and green. Almost every color of a Muslim flag are white, red, black, and green. I know some translations say pale and some translations says green, but for the sake of this video, we're going to go with white, red, black, and green. And green can basically be pale too, because yeah, it can mean that. But the overall message here isn't just that the four horsemen is the colors of every Islamic flag. That would be just ridiculous. It's the fact that they're the colors of every Islamic flag, and it's a description of what Islam is known for. The conquest is the invasion. Look throughout all history, that's how it starts. After the invasion and they become the majority, war and bloodshed. Once the war and bloodshed starts, the famine and economic control during the time of war and bloodshed. And once they have control, once they're the majority, death to anyone who refuses to convert. This is a perfect description of Islam today, Islam yesterday, and Islam for the past 1,000 years. This is their playbook, step by step, since their inception, since their rise to power. It's almost eerie how similar how the Bible got this down. It's almost as if the Bible's telling us that Islam is going to be the rise of the Antichrist, and the Antichrist is going to come from Islam. Isn't that crazy? If you look at the flags of many nations in the Middle East, specifically those involved in the Arabic movement, you will notice a reoccurring color: red, white, black, and green. While history will tell you that these are the Arab colors rooted in various history books, many prophetic scholars point to the version with the four horsemen is a I forgot to put a word down. Many biblical scholars point to the Islamic flags and the Islamic traditions and religion as a parallel between the two, and that these colors have become the banner for regimes that are historically and ideologically the most vocal opposite of what the Bible and biblical principles of God on the Israel and the Messiah are built on. Whether this is a literal, fundamental, or symbolic warning, it is worth asking, are we seeing a realignment of global powers that perfectly matches the ancient warning of the apocalypse? The Apostle Paul warns of a great falling away, a delusion that would lead many believe a lie. In 2 Thessalonians 2:11 states, "For this reason God sends them a powerful delusion so that they will believe the lie." And I personally believe that's Islam. If a leader were to rise today, someone charismatic, someone who brings peace, someone who promises to fix the world economic global power, what would you have to do to deceive the masses? He would have to offer a narrative that satisfies the religion logging on the world while simultaneously denying the core truth of the Bible. If that leader united the world under a banner that stripped Jesus of his divinity, redefining him as a mere prophet rather than a creator of the universe, he would be essentially outreaching to the very deception the Bible says will mark the end of the age. For the believers, this is called the grounded. You cannot discern a conflict if you don't know what the original conflict looked like. You must be deeply rooted in the Gospel of John, the book of Revelation, and the epistles to know who Jesus is. As John 14:6 records, Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." So where does this leave you? First, do not be paralyzed by the news. The Bible tells us these things must happen. Our job is not to fix the world, but to be faithful to God while living in the world. Second, be a student of God's word. The reason this deception is so powerful is that the permissible the it's easy for people to listen to what sounds easy. It's harder for people to listen to something that sounds harder. It's easier for somebody to get on a road that looks easy and take the easy way out of something. And the same can go said for the hard road. But usually it's always the hard road that paints the true road to success and to great blessings. And that's no different than your road to heaven. Give me a second. I lost my point. It sounds inclusive, it sounds peaceful, and it sounds reasonable. The truth is often offensive to the world. The truth is often offensive to the world. And I think something we need to remember. Jesus warned us the world was going to hate us. Jesus said, if the world hates you, know that it hated me before it hated you. If they were, if since they are of the world and not, since they are a part of the world and you're not of the world, therefore the world hates you. If they loved me, they would have followed me. Because they do not love me, they are a part of the world. Therefore the world hates me. If the world hates you, guys, it's okay. You know why? It's okay. Because Jesus already told us that people were going to hate us 2,000 years ago. It's okay to have haters. You know how many people hate me in my life? A lot. A lot. I got a lot of people that hate my guts. But I'm going to keep on preaching when I preach. The truth is offensive to the world. If you are standing for truth that Jesus is the only way to the Father, you will always be at odds with any system that tries to universally or flatten your claims. Finally, pray. Pray for those who are currently being led by these ideas. The enemy's goal is to keep them biblically blind to the true nature of Christ. Our goal is to shine the light of the gospel, not with hate, but with the urgency to rescue them before our mission is over and Jesus calls us back. We are watching the stage be set. Keep your eyes on the word, keep your heart in the right place, and remember the words of 1 John 4:4. You dear children, are you from God and have overcome them? Because the one who is in you is greater than the one who is in the world. And I will finally leave you with this. The Jesus Muslims believe in is not the same Jesus of the Bible. The Jesus of the Bible, most Christians, if you ask them, they'll say, He's God. He's also the Son of God. He died for our sins. And He rose from the dead. Islam doesn't believe that. So that should be the biggest red flag. So that's about it for this video, guys. It is something to think about. Islam is one of the most vile, wicked, sexually perverted religions on the planet. I don't even know why people follow it. But based on all the information, based on Islamic eschatology, it's unfortunate, but I really do believe the Antichrist is going to come from Islam. Not the Pope, not France, from Islam. And we're seeing the stage being set out right now all across Europe, Paris, France, England, Britain, Canada, Germany, here in America, in Dearborn, Michigan, and New York City, and other places too. And the people who are letting them in, unfortunately, are white liberal women and brainwashed black people and stupid politicians. But the majority of them are women. And why is that a big deal? Because women don't lead decisions with logic. They lead decisions with emotions. And that's dangerous. But that's about it for this video, guys. My name's Russell. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you have a wonderful day. My name's Russell, and you're watching The Bible Man. Have a blessed one.